And then the most interesting thing is, like, for example, what we are going to do is we're going to upload again the proposal that we work on, and we're going to say, please review this proposal made by me and propose changes to 1, align this proposal to there. Then what this is going to do is going to carefully review the draft, is going to see how well it is aligned with the EU code, is also going to look at the best practices, and is going to give you recommendations. And then what you can do is to start working section by section to say, okay, for example, in the sections relevance that I wrote again, that a human wrote, you are going to go and say, please suggest a new or suggest improvements to the section relevance, right? And then it's going to say, okay, right now it reads like this, but those are the ways that you can make improvements to this section. And so you will go on and on in a conversation between the human and the machine to make the application to this EU project successful in a smart way and in an ethical way, because you, the human, you are the one doing the work. Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian. I am an AI enthusiast, and I'm going to show you how you can use artificial intelligence to apply for EU funds in an ethical and smart way, making sure that the technology is supporting the human and not doing or replacing the job of a human. Step 1. Let's imagine that we have an organization. I had to create one called MIM, Mobilizing European Millennials for Engagement. Well, it's a completely made up one. So you have an organization that is eligible for EU funds. The next step should be to look for EU funding opportunities. And we've spotted this one about building trustworthy, a trustworthy social media sphere, especially looking at young Europeans in social media. And this is perfect for us. So already we have decided that we're gonna go for it. The next step is that you will take a long time to read the code document, to look for the right partners, and to craft something that looks like a final proposal, or at least a draft that you can work on. That has to be done by you. No one else is in a better position to do that. And let's imagine that at the end of this process, we have something like this, a proposal called Trust for Teens, Fighting Fake News with Fun Memes. And of course, this is for illustration purposes, but you need to really work on this yourself. How is it gonna work for yourself? Well, helping you align this proposal, Trust for Teens, with 1, the code document, making sure that you didn't miss anything important, and 2, and here's something really interesting, which is we're gonna look at 2 past successful projects within this organization, and that are related, or that I could really borrow lessons learned and key elements for applying to this new one. Those 2 projects are Bridge Youth, which is about working with minorities. Again, this is completely made up, and Youth Voice, which is about youth participation in digital democracy. The next step is to create this assistant. How do we do that? There are 2 ways. Those who take part in the workshop AI for advocacy that we are organizing in October for beginners and November for more advanced ones, will be able to understand how to do this and why they are so key. For now, what I can say is that OpenAI called them GPTs, and you can simply click on GPTs and click on create, and then you will be able to create one from scratch. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to use one GPT that I have created myself and that helps me create other GPTs. Yes, it's a robot that helps you create new robots, new assistants. And I will drop the link in the comments. We're gonna fast forward this and say, I want my GPT to be able to provide advice on how to improve my call proposal. All right, so then this is gonna give us instructions, again, step by step, on how we can improve this assistant, what are the instructions. And after all that, let's say that my next step is always also all the information about my organization, about the proposal, and about the 2 past projects. are included here. And then I'm gonna say, please give me a instructions for my GPT, taking into account the knowledge base. All right, once the instructions are clear, then what you're going to do is you're gonna really copy all these instructions and of course read through them, and in our workshop we're going to be able to look at what are the different components that are important in an agent. But for illustration purposes, again, we can take all these instructions, we go to GPTs, we go to create, we make sure we click on configure, and then I can say a EU funding AI assistant, right? And then I give a description that is like this. GPT is trained with MEMS mission, past successful projects. Here in the instructions, you pretty much copy and paste what the other screen gave you, the other robot gave you, and then you can have as conversation starters. You can say things, for example, explain in a concise way what the EU call is about. And you can say also, you can add things like explain what are the key elements in past successful projects from MIM, right? Again, we are gonna click on all the capabilities. We're gonna choose GPT-5, which is the newest and best model so far. And then in the files, we're going to really upload all the files that we have, the call for tender, information about us, past successful projects, and the proposal for Truth for Teens. All right, we'll keep it all there, and then we're gonna click on create. Once you click on create, you can choose to share only with me, anyone with the link, or make it available in the GPT store, which is public to everyone. And yeah, basically what we have here is already a GPT that is gonna sit in your account, and that is gonna explain to you, for example, what the call is demanding in a very concise way. Again, you don't need to read it all the time. You can always ask for things like what are the eligible countries in the call, and then this GPT will look at the call and give you the answer, right? Of course, always make sure that you understand this calls from beginning to end, but sometimes it's just handy to have this capability. And then the most interesting thing is, like, for example, what we are going to do is we're going to upload again the proposal that we work on, and we're going to say, please review this proposal made by me and propose changes to 1, align this proposal to the. Then what this is going to do is going to carefully review the draft, is going to see how well it is aligned with the EU code, is also going to look at the best practices, and is going to give you recommendations. And then what you can do is to start working section by section to say, okay, for example, in the sections relevance that I wrote, again, that a human wrote, you are going to go and say, please suggest a new or suggest improvements to the section relevance, right? And then it's going to say, okay, right now it reads like this, but those are the ways that you can make improvements to this section. And so you will go on and on in a conversation between the human and the machine to make the application to this EU project successful in a smart way and in an ethical way, because you, the human, you are the one doing the work. Continue watching more tips, follow us in all our social media accounts, and definitely consider signing up to our workshops for beginners in October 2025 and for more advanced ones in November 2025, all part of the European Campaign Playbook. Thank you.